I'm Anil Kumar, and here are questions from Unit Test 2, Equivalent Algebraic Expressions. I'm calling it Part B since we are dealing with rational expressions from now onwards. We have three different rational expressions here, and you need to state restrictions on the variables. The first one is when you add two rational expressions, the second one when you multiply, and the third one is when you divide. You can pause the video and write down your answers. As you know, restrictions are when denominator is equal to 0. You cannot divide by 0, right? That leads to restrictions. So in the case where we are adding two rational expressions, both the denominators cannot be 0. So we have 2m plus 3 not equal to 0. If you solve, you get 2m is not equal to minus 3, or m is not equal to minus 3 by 2. So that is the first restriction. Now the second denominator is m minus 2. That should not be equal to 0. That means m is not equal to 2, right? So we can write down the answer here is that the restrictions are that m is not equal to minus 3 by 2 or 2. So that is how you have to get your restrictions. When you multiply, even then, you have to check for denominators. They should not be 0, right? Now, x squared plus 1 should not be equal to 0, which will never be 0, right? So, x squared is always positive, and x squared should not be equal to negative 1. Well, so that is not possible. X squared is always positive. So no restrictions from the first term. In the second term, we have 10 minus 2x. That should not be equal to 0. That means 2x is not equal to 10, or x is not equal to 5. So in this case, the restrictions are that x is not equal to 5. When we say x is not equal to 5, that means x can be any other real number but not 5. So in case we ask you what is the domain of the function, you should write x belongs to all real numbers where x is not equal to 5. Correct? Now the third example is x minus 5 divided by x plus 6 divided by 8x minus 10 over x. Now if you have to divide, you have to write it as a multiplication. So you could write this expression as x minus 5 over x plus 6 times x over 8x, let me factor 2 so that it becomes easier for us to appreciate what is the restriction. So it is 4x minus 5. Now division is the reciprocal of multiplication. To solve, we need to multiply like this, right? Now whenever there is a division, the restrictions will be because of the denominators and also because the numerator of the divisor. Since when you multiply, it comes in the denominator, right? So in this case, we have three different restrictions, correct? So first one is from x plus 6 not equal to 0, which is x is not equal to minus 6. The second one is because of this x, which is in the denominator, so it cannot be 0. And the third one is from the third term, that is 4x minus 5 is not equal to 0, or x is not equals to 5 over 4. So we get three different restrictions. I hope you understand and appreciate that part. So in this test, there will always be a question, straightforward question like this, where you may have to simplify, but most important, understand how to write restrictions. We'll have further questions where we'll simplify and then write restrictions. I hope to begin with, that's a good question. Let's now move on. Thank you and all the best.